major regroup tomorrow night. They are looking at being swept for the second weekend in a row.
Oh. So what a game this was right here. I mean, just, you know, the score doesn't tell you what it actually was.
The score, it wasn't as close as it was not as close as the score indicates.
Not at all.
The score winds up 5-2. It could have been 8-2 or 9-2.
Now I want to go ahead and bring something up here. You're looking at an opportunity for Kentucky to make something happen here with the goal from I think it was Getz again, or Taylor Vitt.
Taylor Vitt.
Looking at the goal from Taylor Vitt, but then right afterwards is where you had your issue with Steinbrecher.
Mm-hmm.
Steinbrecher, I don't want to say that he killed the momentum for Kentucky, but it certainly didn't help.
It's just not smart hockey. He played so well all night long, and to have pressure put in on him like that, and then for him to react the way he did was, you have to wonder where his head is.
Right.
He was playing, I don't know if he was just frustrated because he couldn't get help from his offense, because he's been so used to it all season long and just didn't get it and was frustrated, or what. But you can't do that.
Right.
You cannot go after a player like that. Even if he had a cheap shot on you, that's what your teammates are in front of you to do, is to protect and defend you.
Right.
It cost him. And I wonder, because of that, if we don't see Jim Borgard start tomorrow night.
Could be a possibility.
Because Steinbrecher, clearly, if you get traffic in front of him, it doesn't take much to get into his head and get him frustrated. We've seen him do it many times over the year. You talked about before the season even started that he has a bit of a temper and tends to go after people when it's not needed, and we saw another example of that tonight. And you wonder sometimes, it's like, where's your head at?
Right.
He was solid all night long. I understand in the third period, giving up the 2 goals early on to put his team down 4-1. But nonetheless, you have to know your offense is still dangerous and can still light the lamp, and you've got to keep your head in the game, and you've got to keep your team in the game. And by doing that, you take yourself out of the game, and you have to stick in a cold goaltender in Jim Borgard. And because of that, you just can't do it.
You're right. Now, it's been brought up here in the chat that, it's not over, for Kentucky in the season by any means.
No.
You're looking at, Ohio State still has Davenport twice, Michigan State twice, Fair State twice, Bowling Green twice, and Twisted said they could easily go to the 2-6 in those games. And UMBC also still ahead of Kentucky. They're dealing with Miami and Grand Valley, so still plenty of opportunity for the Cats, as brought up in the chat. Very good points from Twisted.
Plenty of opportunities for Kentucky to get help, but they've got to help themselves by getting back to basics and taking care of business. We have Ohio State tomorrow night here once again, but starting out the second half of the season in January, Lindenwood comes here.
Right, exactly. And, that right there could make or break Kentucky a bit.
You have to wonder where Kentucky's confidence is at, because this is now 3 losses in a row.
And yeah, you're right. It's probably taking them a little bit wayward here, because they're not used to that.
No, they're not used to losing.
No, I mean, they had a great start, and now it just seems like it's starting to melt a bit. But
they've been beating teams handily and gotten used to winning, but now it seems they're getting into their meat of their schedule and facing some much tougher competition than what they saw at the beginning of the year. And so far they've not risen to the occasion.
And this is one thing that's going to hurt Kentucky in the long run, is the fact that coming into these big games, they're not really stepping up like they should.
And tomorrow night is the last chance for Kentucky to impress the people that comprise the ACHA rankings before the semester ends. Kentucky coming into tonight ranked number 4. If they get swept, it could drop another 2 spots.
Most definitely. I mean, this is such a volatile league.
You're absolutely right. And it makes tomorrow night, for all intents and purposes, a must-win. Kentucky
definitely
must win tomorrow night. Based on tonight's performance, a top 2 regional ranking is a ways out of reach. And I don't want to say totally impossible, but at this point, it's not looking good for that. Tomorrow night, if they lose, it's gone. The
Right.
top two regional ranking is gone. That will not happen.
And at that point, you're looking at, okay, regionals, you got a few extra games in your pocket coming up then.
Yeah, and you just it's time to go back to basics. They've got to go back to basics and work hard, and they've got to fight and scratch for every single inch of ice out there. Tonight they didn't do that because Ohio State took the ice away from them immediately.
Definitely. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here from the Lexington Ice Center. The crowd has cleared out. The Zamboni is on the ice, and we're going to get set for another big contest tomorrow night. Join us right here on CoolCatsHockey.com. For those of you listening in to 88.1 WRFL, thank you for listening. You'll catch this on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/UK Wildcat Hockey. So we'll see you tomorrow night right here at the Lexington Ice Center. For Aaron Rose, that's me. Wait, for Jason Griefer, I'm Aaron Rose.
You're referring to yourself in the third person.
Yeah, I know. Don't you love that? For Jason Griefer, I'm Aaron Rose. We wish you a very, very pleasant good night. Go Cats.
Be safe out there.
Go Cats tomorrow against UNC.
Yes.
And then we'll be ready to rock and roll tomorrow night
That's
here
right.
at Cats Rink.
That's right. Until tomorrow night.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.